coming out of Eastern Oregon, damn near Idaho. You're listening to the Double Talkin' with Dog Bite Hair Show.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to Double Talkin' with Dog Bite. My name is, well, it's Dog Bite. On this episode, we have the one and only Lorin Walker Madsen, singer-songwriter out of Utah. We talk about a few different things. We talk about what he's been working on as far as music. We talk about how the music business has been changing. We also talk about what kind of music he's been listening to and what kind of music I've been listening to. We just essentially we kind of just shoot the shit for a while. Anyways, we're going to kick off the show with a song by Lorin Walker Madsen called Traveling Man. But first, here is a word from our sponsor.
Howdy. My name is $2 Illness. I'm the owner-operator of King of the Road VIP Chauffeur Service. That's the tour guide service where you take a tour of Nashville with me, the King.
Well, look out now, I'm cruising around town. You wanna see the city, I'll take you around. Hop on in my baby blue sedan, but don't get jealous of my hundreds of fans. I'll show you the sights and all the bright lights. You say, Elvis, take the wheel. Elvis, take the wheel. Elvis, $2 Elvis, take the wheel.
All you gotta do, baby, is go to www.2elvis.com. Select your date, put down that deposit, and you got a date with me, the King.
Elvis, $2 Elvis, take the wheel. I'm a traveling man who likes running wild across the heartland, who likes getting drunk on the side of Dixie. The side tastes sweeter than any Scotch, bourbon, or whiskey. Spend my share of days living hand to mouth. You can bet I've slept in far too many parking lots to count. I try to make the time to wash my cares away in any river, lake, or creek along the way. I carry on, rolling down the road, trucking along, singing my songs to lighten my load. I carry on, rolling down the road. Yeah, that's my plan. I'm a traveling man. Traveling man who likes getting lost just to find himself again, who likes getting stoned off a Rocky Mountain high, or off the Rio Grande, or in Appalachia sunrise. Spent my share of days trying to keep my mind right. Try to breathe in all I can, and I try to hold on to it tight. There ain't no guarantee that you get tomorrow after today, so I'd rather take the only things that I can fit with me down in my grave. I carry on,
I'm a traveling man who likes running wild across the heartland, who likes getting drunk on the side of Dixie. The side tastes sweeter than any Scotch, bourbon, or whiskey.
Alrighty, folks, with me on the Zoom, I got the one and only Lorin Walker Madsen. He's got a really cool whiskey dick hat on. Had Fritz on last week. What's it say on there?
I think it just says heavy metal honky.
Oh, heavy metal honky tonk. Yeah, that's a sweet one.
Classic.
How's life, buddy?
Oh, life is good, man. Yeah, life is good. I can't complain. You know, just yeah, looking forward to warmer months living in Utah. You know what it's like living out in the cold in, you know, cold place. But yeah, I'm good, man. Life's good. How about you?
I'm about the same, man. It's warming up here though, and loving it. I'm not a winter guy myself, but
Yeah, no, me neither, man. I mean, living in Utah, it's hard. Like you have to deal with the snow, but you know, it makes the spring and the summer months just that much better when they come around. So I'm with you.
Utah is an extremely underrated state, in my opinion. I think the secret's kind of out now, which sucks. A lot of people from California are moving there. It's the same shit everywhere. California ruins everything. They ruined Oregon, ruined Montana. Now they're ruining Utah. No offense to my California friends. I love you guys just the same, but
yeah, I love my California friends, but I'm with you. Yeah, it's getting crazy out here. There's a lot of that. Yeah, a lot of people moving in and whatever. But yeah, man, I'm glad you feel that way. I tell people all the time, I love it here. You know, Utah is a great place. I mean, I moved here when I was pretty young, when I was a kid, but it's awesome. You know, it's its own thing. Every city and state. I mean, you know, they've got their things. You know, there's, you know, we have Mormons, but there's religion anywhere, and there's, you know, whatever. But it's cool, man. I love it out here. We got the mountains. I love to be outside. We love the outdoors, fishing, and you know, all that stuff. So it's pretty great. You know, and I'm not too far from, like, you know, California. I'm not far from you know, warmer climates, and I'm not that far from you. You know, I could leave at breakfast and be up there by dinner. You know,
I've actually thought if I see if my knee's good this year, usually the Ugly Valley Boys play at least once or twice during the summer, and I've literally thought about just getting in and going, because I could do that. Like you said, I could leave at breakfast and be there by dinner. You know,
hey, got a place to stay. You can always crash at my house and make it easy. We'd love to have you. Yeah. And you're right, though. They only play like maybe twice a year, and once a year if you're lucky, to be honest. I mean, they've been playing once or twice a year, but yeah, they're awesome, man. They're great. I mean, honestly, I haven't seen them myself in a while, but they're like one of those bands whenever I'm on tour, it seems like I always get asked all the time. You know, people love them, you know, who have seen them, they love them, and always ask, oh, you know, do you know those guys, or, you know, do you play with those guys? And never played with them, unfortunately, but yeah, they're great, man. Next time they book a show, you come on down. That'd be sick,
man. I almost did it last summer, but shit just didn't work out. I think it was right when I blew my ACL out is when they were playing. I just wasn't feeling it. So yeah, hopefully I'll be just healing up around the time they play, hopefully.
Yeah,
because I've wanted to see him for years. But Braxton came out to my show last time I played Salt Lake, but I still have never seen him live, and their albums are some of my fucking favorite. There's something in the water there, apparently, in Utah, because you know,
we got some good stuff, man. We got some really great musicians here. I mean, we have some phenomenal songwriters that, like, you know, I'd love to say, like, I wish they toured more or whatever, but you know, they do their thing, and some of them get out, and you know, we were kind of talking about it before we got on the podcast and hit record, like, you know, life is just a different balance for everybody. You know, everybody's, you know, navigating this crazy world, you know, at their own pace, you know, but we've got some awesome people that, I hope the world gets to hear, you know, more people get to hear them. But
yeah, it's like a little Texas, you know, like there's so many good artists out of Texas that never hardly leave, you know, but it's not quite, because you can tour around Texas and like year round and make a living if you're good, like Hayes Carl, or like, you know.
And I love that. I wish that, you know, sometimes I wish that I was like able to, like be a part of that scene, because that's something special for sure. Yeah, I mean, people that just don't even Texas, they just circle around and tour all over the place and make a living down there. But
they'll do like one big tour a year. Like they'll come out of Texas one time a year to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to be pretty cool.
A lot of people just around the West Coast, man. I mean, just between where you're at and where I'm at, there's a lot of good music in Boise. A lot of good music up in the the Northwest and everything too. So I think a lot of people, you and I think we're drawn to some of the roots, if you will, quote unquote roots music and some of that. And there's a lot. We
also share a love of red dirt country, and sometimes that shit don't coincide together. There's a lot of people from the roots scene that don't really even know shit about the red dirt side of shit, or the outlaw country scene that don't really know shit about it, like.
Totally. That's true too.
Yeah. Cause what caught my eye, and I think I mentioned this in the last interview, the reason I booked you the first time is because I was looking for new shit, different shit. And, you'd mentioned in your press pack that you'd opened up for Lucero. So I was like, I liked Lucero, but there's probably not a lot of people that came to Ruckus that knew who the fuck they were,
Yeah.
And
so I remember we did talk about that. Yeah. Cause I mentioned that was like really early on in my songwriting career and playing shows and, getting some opening slots. And, man, that was way early on. And, that's a band that I mean, gosh, for me and for a lot of people that I know, it's just, I mean, Lucero is just such a great band, such a big influence, for me and my songwriting. But there's a lot of people who have no idea who they are, and they've been a band for 20 years, now, and or something like that. It's crazy. It's just crazy like that. But yeah, it's weird how sometimes those communities or those, I hate to use the word scene, or whatever, but it's crazy. They get really close to interweaving, but some of them never cross, and some of these people never, they might not know who this artist is or that, and it's interesting.
Someday, if something comes along and makes all that shit interweave and realize that they're not so far apart, and if that community can learn to support each other, CMT might look completely different.
Yeah, no, that's true too. But and there are artists. I think that's what's cool too with Spotify and streaming platforms. Some of that's cool because you can be listening to somebody, and if they're plugged into the the algorithm the right way or whatever, you might get somebody that pops up that's like a suggested artist, that might take you down a whole nother rabbit hole that you might not ever have gone down had there not been, Spotify or Pandora or whatever that, that you're listening to. So there's some of that that's cool. I think we've all probably been guilty of finding an artist, through, digital streaming at this point, who maybe we didn't know we were going to find, and they just happened to pop up on our radar, and you're like, shit, I'm going to download this album, and this is great, and you might fall in, totally, in love with it or whatever. But anyways, I don't even know what I'm talking about now, but
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Anyway, but, but no, it's, no, I don't even know. We were talking about Salt Lake, Utah. It's good. It's a good place. West Coast is a good place. You got a Death Row Records shirt on right now. So
yeah. I need a new one, man. It's pretty sharp.
Watching this and you're just listening, Dog Bite's wearing a Death Row Records shirt. So.
And congratulations to Snoop Dogg, man, for buying that shit, dude.
That's true too. I forgot about that.
That label is in such, dude. I hope he does something really cool with it, man, because he deserves it. He was built on his back. Like, what people don't understand is Snoop wrote the rhymes for 90% of Death Row shit. Pretty much anything that wasn't Tupac, Snoop or Warren G wrote. All that Dr. Dre shit is Snoop Dogg writing it, because he didn't fucking write rhymes. He made beats. And so, and then Suge Knight's a fucking piece of shit pretty much. So he got all that money, he basically, nobody wanted to fuck with him. So it's kind of a poetic ending that it ends up in Snoop Dogg's hand. I really hope that he does something really cool with it to keep it going, because it was such a amazing entity in its own right. You know, it'd be cool to see Snoop Dogg come and make it something positive and not just like fucking a bunch of thugs beating each other up, you know?
Shoot, man, I hope he does something better with that than what he's doing. I with like his TV show. He has a new show. What was it? It's like a songwriting show, and the concept is cool, but it's just like another. It was a little cheesy. It's a little cheesy, but you know, it's Snoop and Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, it's almost like he's almost got his hands in too much shit right now. Is part of why I'm kind of like scared that he might end up fucking it up somehow. But I watched him. I just watched like a 3-hour interview with him on Joe Rogan's podcast, and ironically enough, it was right after they tried to cancel Joe. But it was one of the most inspirational fucking interviews I'd ever watched in my life. You know, like that guy is so positive and so smart and so like well-rounded, and just wants like good things in the world, man, when you hear him talk, you know. And it was really rad and enlightening to hear. And if anybody is listening, go check that out, because like it was inspirational in a lot of ways. Like he was just kind of talking about, like, I can't remember who it was that he said kind of passed him the torch. It was some like I want to say it was like James Brown or somebody, some soul singer that was about to die, like wanted to meet with Snoop, and they had like dinner together for like 3 hours and just talked. And the guy was kind of like, Snoop was like, man, you're really positive, you know? He's like, no, he's like, now it's like your turn to do this. You like got to drop this gangster shit. Like, he's like, you got the world in your hands, man. People listen to you, like do something positive with it. And he's like, I took that shit serious, you know? And that's when this whole mentality about music and how he does shit changed. So it's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I'll have to check that out. That's interesting. I'm all about a good inspirational podcast, man. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. 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 So what have you been up to, man? You got any music work in the works, or
what's cracking in my world? Man, yeah, working on some new music. Working on hopefully trying to get out a new release. I mean, everyone's doing the singles nowadays, man. So maybe I'll just start putting out some singles. But no, I got a few new tunes I've been working on, and I actually started a while back. I had laid down kind of the foundation for a few other songs. So, I mean, kind of had already started, and I may have mentioned that last time. I mean, that was a while ago. It was right when the pandemic started. So, yeah, it's been kind of an up and down couple of years, I think, for everybody. Hadn't only played a handful of gigs last year in shows. Really only have a handful on the books for this year, which excited about. But trying to get back in the studio. Finish up some songs. Just kind of started working on kind of getting a live set back together for some of these shows. So got a new bass player out there playing with me right now to start with. So how that is. You're a lot of time going into getting all the nuts and bolts tightened down for live shows again and everything. But yeah, I'm hoping, man, I'll definitely be putting out some tunes soon. At least I'm hoping at least sometime maybe at the end of the summer, fall time. That's a good time for me. Try to get back in the studio when the summer's hard, man. Everybody wants to play shows and run around and do festivals and stuff like that. But
I don't know about you, man, but I've noticed like booking has really changed since COVID and shit opened back up. Like, it's really hard to book shit, and a lot of things have changed. It's just really odd.
Yeah.
Like everything's just locked up. You almost have to book shit like 2 years in advance at this point, or a year.
Yeah, it's been interesting. And I mean, for me, it was, gosh, we had a little boy, our first little boy, our oldest, like 6 months or so right before COVID, and so I was already kind of like winding down, I was kind of winded down at that time and was being home and, was doing the dad thing kind of right at the beginning, of COVID. So then I was like, oh man, like I can't really get back into playing gigs. And then it was like, up and down. People are playing, they're not playing, and then it gets bad. And so it's been, that's that side of it's been really hard. And I'm kind of glad, I was at a point where I was really taking, not like a full hiatus, but like I said, really had scaled back, already, and had planned to scale back for a year or two. So it was interesting because I was like kind of watching it, and my friends and people that I know, people in the industry and, touring, trying to navigate the whole thing. And man, it's tricky. Even like you said, right now, it's hard because, who's to say it's not going to get weird again where we're at? I mean, I don't know. I mean, no one can tell, but it's tough. You got to book pretty far out, and you got to hope that things stick. And, but yeah, I think hopefully we're on at least for a while, I don't know. Last summer was a little bit better, I'm kind of when I was
feels like this one's looking like it's going to be even better. So hopefully I have a feeling we're probably on the ass end of this. Finally, maybe we'll have another tough winter when the cold and flu season comes back around. But I think we're probably doing pretty well now. I think everybody had it. So like a lot of people had it.
You haven't had it at this point. Like, yeah, you're probably the minority at this point, but yeah, I mean,
I think that helped too, to figure it out a little better.
Yeah, it's been crazy though, man. I think, I mean, we definitely, we got a nasty case of it at my house and, and all that, but yeah,
how'd you guys do with it, man? How did everybody pan out with it?
It was, man, it was pretty, we got it. So not that long ago, probably a few months ago, kind of, had a big wave going on again, when everything was coming around again. I can't even remember what the variant was called right now off the top of my head, but, kind of that, Omicron, was kind of, was happening and all that. And, we ended up getting it, and my wife got sick and she was pretty down and out. And then my oldest little boy got it and he was pretty down and out. So I was trying to hope that I wasn't going to get it, but you're in the house. I mean, you can't, there are people, obviously we've all heard, hey, you're living with somebody and you didn't get it or whatever, but then I got it, and then we have a newborn baby. And so he's 5 months old. So this was a couple months ago. So he got it. So he was like, we were all super sick, fevers, just crazy sluggish and whatever, but it could have been worse. I mean, we were, felt like shit for sure, pretty wrecked for 3 or 4 days, and then kind of slowly climbing our way out of it. But yeah, it was no fun. I know it's different for everybody. So you got sick yourself. I know as well, it's right. So
yeah, it was definitely different for me, man. But I have been sicker, but I felt like I could have been sicker if I wouldn't have been vaxxed and if I wouldn't have had a great doctor. Like, I've got a good doctor, and I got sick the day I got my fucking booster. I fucking started having symptoms. So I was like, I think I'm just having a reaction to the booster. And then like a day or two goes by, like, cause the day I got the booster, I fucking got a fever that fucking came over me like nothing. I was at work. I felt it hit me. I was like, I'm leaving. And I did. And I went home and I slept for like 20 hours. And I woke up and I felt okay after that, and I'm weird. I kind of like having a fever. Like, as long as I'm not pukey, like that's when I get bad with it, like food poisoning kills me, that kind of shit. But I kind of like having a fever. I'm weird like that, dude. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
I like having the crazy fever dreams. I love it. It's like, I don't know. It's almost like being on drugs. So it doesn't bug me that much. But essentially I was like fucking down. Like a couple days go by, and I'm like, then my fucking nose starts getting plugged up. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, God damn it. Like, this is just my luck. Like, the day I get my booster, I get fucking COVID.
Yeah.
I did this thing like where it's like going back and forth where like I'd feel fine 1 minute and then I'd feel like shit, and then one day I woke up and my chest was so congested I couldn't get any phlegm up. And the last time I had that happen, I was sicker than I'd ever been in my life, but I was a pack and a half a day smoker. and ended up getting bronchitis and pneumonia at the same time. So I just called my doctor, and by this point I'd taken an at-home COVID test and it was positive, so I knew I had it. So I called my doctor and I was like, look, I know I have COVID. I'm fucked up. And he was like, and he could tell because I was talking to him, it's bad. And we were talking via Zoom. And he was like, all right, man. He's like, I'm just going to send you this Z-Pack. I'm going to send you albuterol. I'm going to send you fucking codeine. Go pick it up. And like, if I wouldn't have got that albuterol and shit and those antibiotics, I don't think I would have fucking panned out because I caught it quick. Because last time that shit was in me, man, it fucking fucked me up. And I knew it was going to fuck me up again because it was worse. I couldn't get anything up. I was gagging because like I couldn't get any phlegm up, but my throat just felt like it was fucking closing because it was so dry and congested. It was fucked.
Oh man, that sounds awful.
But yeah, I got like, once I got that shit in me, I was fine though. And then I had to quarantine. I had to be out of work for like 10 days and I've got this surgery looming over me. So I'm watching my sick time just fucking get exhausted. And luckily I'd caught it at work. So they were like, yeah, and I'm on salary. So they just paid me because I caught it at work. I can pinpoint the exact minute I got it. Cause like I work in a mental health facility and we had a couple residents that got it and you can't really make them do shit. So it's not like you can make them quarantine. You can't make them wear masks. So like, but we all have to do that shit. But, I was running a group and I look over and this girl that had just popped positive was like this far from my face with her mask down. And I felt her breath hit my fucking face. And I was like, son of a bitch. I was like, there it is. Like, I knew that second I fucking got COVID. I knew it. And that's why I ran out and got my booster because it was all over. I was like, I think it's too late, but like, I'm going to go get my fucking booster anyways. But
bummer.
Yeah, dude, that's my luck, dude. But it's all right. I survived,
Said, man, yeah, like you said. I mean, hopefully we're on the tail end. It'll be a good summer and everything like that. So, yeah, man, things seem like they're going good with you, and everything's good up that way.
Yeah, man, it's not too bad.
Good.
Yeah, like we were talking a little bit before we started rolling. Like I'm stressed about this knee surgery, but other than that, everything else pretty good.
Good, man. Yeah, it's gonna be all right. You're gonna get on the other side of it, be over before you know it.
Yeah.
Easier done, I know, but you'll be there.
I did a lot of prep work for it, so I'm pretty confident. I've been working out for like 2 years on and off. Depending on gyms are open because of COVID, but I've been pretty solid on it for a year. So and I've been doing physical therapy to get ready for it. Like all my muscles around my knee are built up from doing physical therapy and working out.
Got it.
So like I lost a bit of weight and built my core strength up. So, a lot of people, the doctors probably look at me and don't think I'm ready, but I'm definitely more ready than other people my size, so.
It's gonna be good, man. That's good. Yeah. Just keep doing what you got to do to get healthy.
My goal is, and this is just a goal, and I'll know more on Tuesday how I feel, is I want to be back in the gym a week after I fucking get it done doing upper body, just to keep myself sane, and to keep myself held accountable, I guess, but we'll see how I feel. I got to understand. I'll understand more if that's even possible, but that's like I've heard of stories of people doing it. That's why I want to do it, Heard of people being back in the gym a week after they've got it. So I want to be one of them, but we'll see how it goes. I got a goddamn good doctor though. The clinic the people that work in the clinic are kind of a train wreck, but all the doctors that work there are great. They do the ACLs for like the Portland Trail Blazers and all the athletes in Oregon. So like, I'm pretty confident I've got probably one of the best doctors as far as this goes in Oregon. So.
That's awesome, man. That's good. Well, it's good to have goals like that,
Yeah, and that's why I waited a year to get into them too, and didn't just go because I could have went other places, but I waited just because I would have rather have went to somebody I know that's got like a 99% fucking good turnover rate than some doctor in some shitty fucking hospital someplace that's gonna fucking butcher my knee up,
Yeah, you don't want that. Not if you're going to get what you got to get done. Yeah, you don't want. That'll be good, man. You'll be on the other side, like I said before. You know it. You know, it's good to have goals like that. Get in the gym a week later. I mean, that's lofty, but I mean, shit, dude. You never know. I mean, you got to set the bar high.
Yeah.
So it can happen.
Yeah. I figure if I set it high and I don't make it in a week, if I make it in 2, I'll be happy, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what else have you been up to, man? You working and shit? Like, do you have a job outside of being a honky tonk singer?
And, oh man, I feel like, well, you know what? I did for a long time. I have been a stay-at-home dad, man. Honestly, I've been being a stay-at-home dad since we had our little boy about 3 years ago. So just pre-COVID. So I am like the luckiest guy in the world, to be honest, man. I mean,
tell you, man, there's a lot that's more popular these days, man. My buddy was like a fucking Marine, one of the toughest motherfuckers I know, and he's a stay-at-home dad. And you would never expect it, but he's so good at it. You know, it's like I think it's cool that dynamic switching a bit, you know.
absolutely, man. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, I think so too, man. And yeah, honestly, I couldn't be more lucky to do it. I have a really great wife. I mean, she's just works extremely hard. She works in property management, in like multifamily housing, and you know, she's been doing that with her company for, gosh, man, like 16 years. I mean, she's been with them a long time, long before her and I started dating. I mean, we started dating probably 12 years ago, so she's been doing it a long time, and she's got, you know, she's just great at it. We've got a good dynamic, and I've been hanging with the kiddos, you know, the last few years, and we had another one about 5 months ago. And so yeah, so I mean, it's been different, but it's been also just kind of like this. I mean, I don't even know how. I already feel like the luckiest guy in the world, being able to like hang out with my kids and, you know, be at home and help raising them and be here all the time. But then it's also like when COVID hit, it was also kind of like, well, nobody's out there playing music, you know, nobody's touring at all, you know. So it was kind of like when I kind of started scaling back, and you know, we had our first boy, it was kind of hard, you know. I was kind of like, I was already burnt out, and I had been touring, man, I mean, for a long time, you know, about up to that point, about 15 years, you know, 14, 15 years, different projects, and doing this project, you know, the better part of the last 8 or 9. So it was kind of like, I was like, all right, this is going to be great, you know, I'm going to be at home and kind of scale back. And then it was kind of like, oh, I'm not going to play at all, you know, nobody is. So yeah, you know, it's been, I don't even know how to put it. It's been interesting, you know. I mean, I kind of had a way of figuring out life without the shows for a while, where like I said, I was watching other people navigate the pandemic, and like they were touring, and you know, some people were getting, you know, raked over the coals and reamed for playing gigs because they were going to get COVID and pass it to other people, or you know, then it was a hard thing, you know. It's been a hard one. So you know, it was really nice to get back out and start doing some gigs last year, you know, in the summertime and then in the fall and whatever. So I'm looking to stuff again this year. But yeah, man, you know, no jobs, been just, you know, being dad, being at home with the kiddos and doing that. But yeah, starting to get back into the gigs again and playing, like I said, you know, starting in April, you know, got a handful in May and a handful in June. So, you know, it's shaping up a little bit. So it'll be good, man. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, hopefully, as far as like some work though, man, I'd love to get back to like working on some records with some people, you know, maybe doing a little bit of producing again and doing a little bit of that. But shoot, man, a lot of fly fishing, a lot of hanging with the kids, you know, and a few gigs in between, you know, this summer is really, you know, and then, like I said, hopefully just going to get some more music out there too. So, but yeah, man, music's just been kind of a different pace the last couple of years. It's a little bit slower, I guess, but yeah, I got some stuff in the pipeline.
Yeah.
You know,
how do you feel about the new stuff? Like, are you you feel like you're going to take it into a different area, or you feel like it's kind of going to be along the same lines of the rest of your stuff? How you feeling about it?
Oh man. Well, a couple of new songs. I mean, they kind of, yeah, they got kind of that feel like, that I've had the last couple releases, kind of in that vein, stuff that I write, but I've got a couple other new ones that I've been working on that I wouldn't say are done or that I've like brought to other musicians yet to maybe start working on. But yeah, they might have a little bit different feel. I've been thinking about trying to, I'd love to do a little bit more of something that's got a little bit more, I wouldn't say like cow punk vibe or like alt country vibe, but like something that's maybe a little dirtier, that maybe is a little more electric, using a little more Telecasters, using some more amps, maybe a little less acoustic driven. I mean, I think like a lot of us, we write a lot of our songs, acoustic, based, or whatever,
Yeah.
but
That's funny. I've actually been looking into the same thing lately. I've been talking with the band and getting suggestions about what they think would sound good as far as going electric would go. And kind of landed, I think I might get a Jaguar and might fuck with that.
nice. Yeah. Jags are cool, man.
But then I
Yeah.
don't know. I love acoustic too. So I've been like, now I'm like, should I get a new acoustic instead? Because I've never really invested a lot of money into like acoustics, So like part of me wants to really get like a good, I mean, for me, investing money would be like getting a good $1,500 guitar, like a Gibson or a Guild.
Killer. That's a yeah, guitar of a lifetime, hopefully,
Mhm. But another
But
thing, man, I started thinking maybe getting, maybe about getting one of those by those guys that you're endorsed by. Those are some sweet sounding guitars too, man.
yep. Teton guitars. Yeah, yeah. And they're great, man. They got great sounding guitars and you're not breaking the bank, but yeah, to each their own, man. I mean, a Gibson and a Teton, I mean, yeah, they're gonna be different, but it's also like, what are you using it for? I mean,
Exactly.
do you want to go out and play a guitar every night? Are you going to be maybe you're gigging a lot, maybe you're not, maybe you're recording, I don't know, so everybody's different, but yeah, I use mine, I love my Tetons. They're great for playing out, going on tour. um I love them, but yeah, man, I don't know, going electric, I like the idea of messing around with I don't know, some heavier sounds, I guess, and heavier meaning, just a little bit more dirty stuff. So yeah, I don't know, like I said, I got a bunch of songs that I want to record and some that I've started to record. And then, again, a pandemic and life and kids has just kind of got in the way and some of it's just hasn't really got done. But yeah, I think what I want to do essentially, man, is like get some of that done, which I think is kind of more along the lines of like the next release, maybe the next record, and then I like the idea of maybe even, I hate using the term like concept album or something, but like it'd be nice to like get in a different mindset and maybe do like, another batch of songs that are, maybe a little bit down a different road. You know what I mean? Because I've put out a handful of records now, and I kind of like where things are at, and I like songs come out the way they come out. That how things happen, and but sometimes you got to just put yourself in a totally different mind space, and try some other shit, and see what you cook up. So might be time for something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm just in a weird place where I feel like there's going to be definitely like an old school dog bite album coming, but I
That'd
think
be
not long after that, there might be something new.
that'd be cool, man.
Yeah.
I think dog bite album would be great. Are you gonna get the Travelers gonna play on it?
Yeah. And I'll probably add some other shit, just spice it up some too. Like Billy Cook played on my last album and he really added a lot, filled out a lot of shit. So I'll probably bring Billy back in and hope that works out good again.
Yeah.
When you put different ingredients into the recipe, sometimes the old ingredients don't always work, but he's definitely one I want to try to incorporate back into the new shit as well. Unfortunately, he's not available to like tour and be a member, so that's, I kind of almost don't want to, but he just did so much for the last one to like just build the foundation of how everything was going to be. It was great because like, I came I went to the studio in Seattle with these songs, and it blew my expectations. Just having, Billy was a lot of it, just like solos and how to just build the song up to be something way more than little old me had put together, so it was a fun process to watch, and he offered so much to it. But it'll be interesting though, because Kevin's such a good guitar player, and he's really technical, so it'll be interesting to see the dynamic of those two on an album. So we'll see what I have to keep and what I scratch,
Totally. Yeah. Well, that's a lot of good musicians. I mean, but yeah, I know.
Sometimes that's not a good thing, sometimes it's not, so we'll see.
Getting all the pieces to the puzzle to fit right, and get all the ingredients to mix right. I mean, yeah, it's not it's not always easy. No, I feel that. I feel like I've learned. We were touching on that earlier, man. I mean, it's the same thing, like, running the project that I've been doing, almost the last 10 years. I mean, a lot of different people come in and out. You play with a lot of different people. It's not always going to work out. Not always going to be great. Not everyone's always going to get along great, whatever. So yeah, man, I mean, I'm excited to hear what you cook up with those guys, though. I mean, Billy is just, I mean, I bet he's a fun one to have around in the studio. So
yeah, he did everything in like a day too, man. So it was really fun to watch him. It was cool. He's like a mad scientist, and he's not technical, really. He's like a heart player. There's like a couple different styles of players. You got like your people that play from their gut and their heart, and you got people that play. I guess essentially, if people commit to playing in any form of performance in front of an audience level or an album level, those people are obviously playing a little bit from their heart, but there's some people that play just a little bit more technical, and but Billy, I don't know, he understands the format and everything, but he's just plays from his gut. It's just insane. He's like I said, he's like a mad scientist. Like, I don't know if you ever got a chance to watch him play with the 357 string band, but it was awesome. A lot of people were kind of pissed because, he took Jake Orvis's spot, but I knew Billy before that happened. And I was like, I love Jake, but it's really hard for me to not want to see what Billy Cook does, because anybody who knows Billy, knew they picked the right guy for the job, and he really did. That last album, I think, is equally as good as anything else they did personally,
Totally. Yeah. I never got to see him either of the setups, but, yeah, it's a band I'd like to see. I always like 357. Good shit.
Yeah, well, Rick Ness is on that Discovery Channel Gold Rush show now. He's like a millionaire, probably.
Probably.
So it'll be hard to ever see a proper,
reunion.
Yeah, you see Jake and Joe get together all the time, but Derek, I feel like, it's kind of hard to get in the mix, and Rick's damn near impossible, because he's just. I think he's he's like got contracts and shit to only appear for Discovery Channel shit, probably,
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, hopefully.
But it is cool to see old bot. If you watch the show, and I got sucked into it because I was like, what, Rick's on here? So I had to go watch it. I got sucked into it. And you'll see in his office, there's Bob Wayne flyers and shit. So you can tell there's a side of him that really misses that aspect of his life and appreciates it still,
Sure, I'm sure. Well, that'd be a band. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love to see 357 play again. It might happen. You never know.
Never say never. Never say never. I'd love to see it fucking happen. It'd be beautiful, and I hope if they do get back together, I hope that they incorporate Billy and Jake, for
Miller.
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch Billy and Jake feed off each other on stage. But yeah, so what we got any new music that you're listening to these days? I've been meaning to ask people this, and I always forget. What are you listening to these days?
Question. I like that question. I like your change up. Some new music that I've been listening to. I'd love to get on my phone and just pull open my library, but I'm on my Zoom call right now, so I can't. But there've been a few just like randoms, you know, that I can't even think of off the top of my head, just stuff that people have been, you know, they'll put into their feed, you know, and whatever, and I'll check it out, a couple of those. I really been, for the last little while, man, I've been on a big Jesse Daniel kick. If you don't know who Jesse is,
Oh
Jesse's
man. I
yes.
got the privilege of opening up for him last summer. That
Oh yeah,
motherfucker. He's
yeah,
a good dude too, man. And this is gonna open up a small can of worms, but we'll come back to what else you're listening to because I got to tell you this story.
that's good.
So when I met him, I was kind of an asshole and I didn't mean to be at all. Like I didn't realize that he was as big as he was. And Felix Thursday was like telling me, you got to check out Jesse Daniels. He's so good. He's so good. So like, I thought like him and Felix had known each other. Like, and I thought he was like on my level kind of like, so I'm like, this guy's going to be huge. Like,
Right.
but anyways, like I kind of like know Shooter Jennings and he was headlining the show. Right. And I'd never met him in person though, but I talked to him because he used to like promote one of my old podcasts. Like, so like I was on like his podcasting network. So we'd communicate via email and shit. And he was always super great, but I never had the chance to play with him or work, you know, or to see him in person or talk to him. So, but the only time he runs past me, Jesse Daniels is playing and I'm watching Jesse Daniels because Felix tells me to, and my mind just being blown. And Shooter just runs past me. And, nobody even knew where he was at the whole day. Everybody's like, where's Shooter at? Where's Shooter at? So like they had him tucked back in like this back room. I could hear him talking. I knew where they were, but I wasn't going to go fuck with them, you know? But he runs past me and I'm like, fuck. I'm not going to stop him because I know he's going to, I was like, my mentality was like, I want him to see this guy so he can get him on like the electric rodeo. Like I want him to be impressed with this dude. Well, like Shooter knew who the fuck he was. And that's why he was running out there, was to go catch his set because it was the only guy he gave a shit about that he was playing with that day. So anyways, I was like telling Jesse Daniels, it's like Shooter ran past me. I was like, he's got to see this guy. So I like didn't even stop him. And then like, he was like, yeah, he's like, I know Shooter. And I was like, oh, like, but anyways, like then he was like talking. Somehow I thought like he only had like 1,500 Facebook likes, and I was like, I'd mentioned that. I'm like, this guy's only got like 1,500 Facebook likes. He's so good, you know. And like then I looked at his Facebook page, and he's got like a fucking 500,000 likes. I'm like, I am such a fucking dick. Like I'm such a fucking dick. And you know, he was so fucking nice too, because he walked up to me. He hadn't played his set yet, but he walked up to me after I played and was like, that was a really good set, man. I liked your shit. And I'm like, awesome, dude. Thank you so much. Like, and he like introduced himself and I was like, oh yeah. Then I started talking to him like Felix was a mutual friend of ours. And that's how the whole thing started. I'm like, yeah, Felix told me about you.
Oh shit.
Felix had no fucking, like, they don't fucking know each other. Felix was just telling me about how great this new up and coming fucking guy was. I'm such a fucking dick. No wonder nobody plays with me. I wasn't invited back this year, but yeah, I was just like, but yeah, Jesse Daniels, great dude and great fucking talent, man. And he's the real fucking deal, man. Like that guy, you see a lot of these guys and you know they've never fucking lived a hard day in their life. And Jesse Daniels has fucking lived some hard shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's great, man. He's the real deal, like you said. I mean, from just great great songwriter, really great guitar player, great musician, great live show, just like awesome band, the whole thing, man. But yeah, really nice guy, man. I mean, we just we've got a mutual friend of ours, buddy of ours, Jake Houston. Jake lives in Reno.
Oh, and he's a fly fisherman too. So you guys probably, I don't know if you bonded over that or not, but he's a fisherman.
Yeah, he likes to fish, man. Yeah, so we got that in common for sure, man. Yeah, he loves to fish. But yeah, we crossed paths right before he put out his first record, and he was at a show that I was playing with a friend of his, and we had a mutual friend and whatever. And but then just like, you know, kept tabs, man, and just kind of watched what he had been doing. You know, he's always been nice when we've crossed paths. You know, he was here, gosh, back in the fall. He's going to be back here next month. I'm going to go catch that show. And, but yeah, he's been one I've been listening to that I love. I mean, I think his stuff's great. He's been putting out, you know, and like we were kind of saying, you know, he's been putting out singles, you know, he put out a new record. So he's been putting out a lot of new music, which has been cool. So yeah, man, he's one of my favorites, at least as of late. So, gosh, I'm trying to think what else I've really been listening to. Kind of just like, gosh, This guy Tony Camel. He used to play in this bluegrass band called Wooden Wire. And he's got a really cool solo record. That's pretty awesome. He's a Texas guy. He lives in Austin, and his old bluegrass band, they were super great. Wooden Wire, they're pretty popular. But anyways, yeah, his stuff's a little bit more kind of, I don't know, singer-songwriter. I don't even know how to call it, Americana vibe and whatnot. But yeah, man, I don't know. That stuff, gosh. What about you? What are you listening to? What should I be listening to?
Well, I've been listening to I just been on this guy named Ian No.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
You know who he is? He's pretty good.
Yeah,
Been on Jesse Daniels' kick, man. Charlie Crockett's another one. You probably been on a Charlie Crockett kick too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me look. I got my phone because I'm hooked up to a tablet for the Zoom. Let's see what I've been listening to because there's a few. Zach Bryan is kind of.
Oh, yeah, he's got some great stuff.
Yeah, he's a little odd because where does he fit, man? Like he kind of marches to his own drum, and I know he's I think he's actively in the Navy right now.
Oh wow, interesting.
Or at least he was. He might have discharged recently because I see him touring more. But for 2 years, all he did was Instagram and fucking videos and shit, and he just got huge by playing around a campfire while his friends videotaped him.
Huh.
I've been listening to a lot of Biggie Smalls, Ready to Die.
That's what I like to hear.
Oh, there's another one, man. I can't remember the name of him off the top of my head that I've been listening to a lot of Sad Bastard music.
That's good. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, completely honest. There's this other fucking guy, Fred Eaglesmith. I listened to a bit of him. Ray Wiley Hubbard's new album's pretty good, man. So is Hayes Carl's.
Yeah, I like Hayes. I haven't listened to Ray Wiley, but I've listened to Hayes. His new record is good. I like that.
How do you feel about Hank 4?
I probably can't make an accurate call on it because I've listened to the stuff that I think what did I listen to? I feel like he's got a single out. I don't know if the record.
Yeah, he's got 2 now. He just signed with Shooter's label. His second single's a little better than the first.
Right. I've seen a lot more of live stuff, people that have shared videos and stuff like that. And a few little videos here and there that I've kind of poked around and found. I think it's good stuff. I don't really know. I'd have to probably see it live to probably make a little bit more of a call. But I'm liking it. He's doing his own thing. So I got to respect that. And
well, also at that same show, when I did finally get a chance to talk to Shooter, I was kind of against it just because of how it was being presented to everybody. I was like, oh, fuck, here we go, And I was kind of a dick about it. But Shooter was the one that talked me into it, ironically enough, because he was and it's funny because, Shooter and Sheldon had that beef back in the day. And it's kind of ironic that now Shooter's putting out Shelton's son's album, but Shooter told me the story, man. The reason, that Shooter and Hank started beefing was because of this interview that Shelton put out. And he was like, fuck Shooter. He's Shelton thought Shooter stole this fucking catch line and he didn't. Because Shooter actually the catch line wasn't even the same. And it came out 2 years before Hank's stuff came out, and I think Shelton understood that they buried the hatchet anyway, so it doesn't matter. But part of what really kicked it off is Hank did a interview with Spin or some shit, and they asked him about Shooter, and he went off on this big tangent about how he was in it because his daddy fucking was in it and he was in it to make money and Shelton was in it to pay child support was his thing. He was basically I'm a metalhead at heart. I don't even like playing country. And that interview made me lose so much respect for Shelton. A lot of it did but anyways, it really, which was good for me because I was such a Hank 3 fan that it was affecting how I viewed other music. So it was like good that had happened because it made him human, really, to me. You know, I'd had him on this pedestal. So it was really a good thing. Shelton's a human being, you know, whatever. Like, I don't dislike him or really like, you know, there's no lost respect there now, you know, but, but Shelton or Shooter was talking about like the reason that Coleman's mom like went and found Shelton to tell him that he had a kid was because Coleman was like dying of like cancer as a kid. And she knew that Shelton had access to Hank Williams money, but she never really wanted to like throw it in his face or be a bitch about it because she knew like, you know, they just had like a one night thing. And like, she didn't just want to like, she was trying to be cool about it, you know? But once it came to like saving his life, she was like, fuck. So she did the only thing she knew how to do and dropped it on him. And I don't think Shelton's got like any regrets about that at all, you know, but it's funny because Coleman was like, in Shooter, we're talking about it, and he's like, Coleman was like, I kind of hate how my dad uses me as an excuse because he played country, or like because of why he started playing country, because he was playing country before he even knew I fucking existed, you know, because the Three Hanks album and everything, all that shit had came out before he knew Coleman existed, you know. So, but that was a little story that
that's funny.
That Shooter told me that was told, you know, and it gave me new respect for him because like also like Shelton and Coleman's relationship is probably better than Hank Jr.'s and Hank 3's relationship, but it's still a little weird, you know, and it's got to be a little weird, but you know, I think there's a love there for one another, like a father-son relationship, but I don't think Coleman's got like the kind of money that Shelton has, you know, so like he's not like filthy rich, so he's been a dirty fucker just like all of us, you know. He's like hitchhiked just because he fucking wanted to and wanted to experience the world and didn't have the money to. Slept on park benches. This is like what Shooters like tell me, like he's not a spoiled kid like the other Williamses were, you know, like he had it tough, you know, so it gave me like a new respect. And that's the only reason I told that story. It's not to shit on Shelton if anybody's listening or anything like that. Like Shelton fucking did what he had to do to take care of him once he found out he was born, you know, so nothing against him at all, you know, just a couple things I'd heard and that it just gave me a new respect for Hank 4, I guess, you know, but his music, it's pretty good, man. It's out there. It's a little trippy, you know. I don't know if I don't know how I feel about some of it, but it's definitely better than I thought it would be, I guess, you know, because I was expecting the shit to come out and have it just be like a regurgitated Hank 3 kind of, you know. So now that he's doing his own thing, totally, man.
Totally, yeah. I respect that. Yeah, I'd like to see it live and kind of see and hear more of you know what he's about and what he's doing. But no, I agree. You know,
and I've known a few people that have met him and played with him, and he's playing with guys like on our level, you know, too. And everybody's had nothing but great things to say about his attitude and how cool he is. He's just like happy to be doing it, you know.
It's awesome. Yeah. Hopefully he comes our way soon. I know he was doing some West Coast stuff, but you know, Salt Lake passed over every now and again. So hopefully we'll get him out here.
Yeah, I think he had to cancel the last leg of that because of COVID anyways, because the Stone Evergreen Travelers are supposed to play with him in Tacoma.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like it stuff. I like his stuff though. That's cool. I definitely want to hear more of it though. But
I'm trying to think of the other guy that I've really been on this other dude too, but I can't fucking. I'm drawing a blank, man, of who this other guy is. You know, JB Beverly's on my playlist right now.
Gotta love JB. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, good one.
Go a little old school. And then, yeah, the Ugly Valley Boys, we talked about them a bit, but I went on a huge Ugly Valley Boys kick about a month ago. I go in spurts where I just like can't stop listening to them. It's like once or twice a year. When the seasons change, I just got to put the Ugly Valley Boys on. Like when it's going from winter to spring, it's like, that's Ugly Valley Boy season. When it's going from summer to fall, it's like Ugly Valley Boy season, you know?
Yeah, I've been liking all the new singles, man. You know, like Dusty Rust put out. Gosh, you know, those are good.
Yeah, I've heard most of the shit off that album. Actually, he sent me the whole album.
Oh, nice.
When it was just like a bit away from being completely mastered. and it's the best shit he's ever done. And he recorded it. I don't know if you watched the interview I did with him. He recorded it in John Fogerty's cabin that is like close to his house up here.
Oh shit, I didn't know it was over there. I knew he was doing it by himself, but I guess I didn't realize that it was over at John Fogerty's place. That's cool.
Yeah, they John Fogerty doesn't own it anymore, but it's if you're from Eastern Oregon, it's kind of a notorious place. It's up at this place called Troy, and everybody's like, for a long time, like everybody knew that he had a cabin out around here someplace, but nobody knew where it was until he sold it. And then everybody kind of came out and was like, once the buyer bought it, was like, I bought John Fogerty's cabin. Now they turned it into an Airbnb. So he just rented it and recorded an album there for a few days. So, and it's built to record, man, because it was John Fogerty's cabin. I mean, the acoustics in it are great. I've seen pictures of the inside. So
awesome. Yeah, I mean, the stuff that he's put out sounds great. Sounds awesome. So yeah, that'll be good.
My feelings on that, man. I always wanted to see you guys do a tour together.
I know we still talk about it all the time, just because I keep in touch with Dusty pretty often, and we, message each other back and forth or whatever, a little bit here and there, but it'll happen, man. We've been talking about, I mean, I really want to get up and do, at least nowadays, at least right now, I've been just doing some short runs, and probably that's going to be the way for the next little bit, but I'd love to do a short run and do a little Pacific Northwest, run of shows. I'd love to do it with Dusty, man. I'd love to play with him. I'd love to get back out to the valley. Shit, man. I'd love to see you, the Travelers. I mean, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then, what else was I going to say about that? There's so much. Oh yeah. And he became a father during COVID too. Him and Chelsea got a baby. So his band will look a little different too, because he went and got his bass player and his wife pregnant. So he's going to have to figure out probably a bass player for a minute.
That's it. But yeah, it's been a while since I've seen him too, but yeah, I've been loving what he's been putting out. Actually, a guy that used to play pedal steel with him, Tyler Giles, man, he just put out some stuff, and
actually Tyler's shit's always on par too, man. He's good.
Always good. Yeah, Tyler just put out a new single like the same day I think Dusty put out one of his recent singles, and man, that one is like that's a killer song also. And so I've been listening to those, man. My buddy Randall Conrad Allinger, he lives down in Texas now, but he's a solo artist. He's been putting out some great new singles also, kind of like some trippy rock and roll kind of stuff. Been really digging that. But shit, man, yeah, there's so many good, a lot of singles, like I've been listening to like a lot of singles, like little, snippets people have been putting out new music. So yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to doing some of that myself. I mean, I love putting records out. I like the process. I like, all of that. So, but man, we're living in different times. So
we were talking about that earlier. It's time to switch gears and adjust, I guess, it's like at the times.
We'll see.
Arlo McKinley, that's the guy I've been listening to a lot of.
Yeah, man. He's from Arliss Nancy, is that right? Or no, he's from no, totally different band. But no, I'm not as familiar with his stuff, I don't think.
It was one of the last albums that John Prine released on Old Boy Records. But yeah, he's good. Sad bastard shit.
Yeah, I know the name, but I'm not like super familiar with it, but definitely know the name. Huh.
Yeah, he's a bit of a bit like Isbell, when Isbell's in that really sad bastard mode. A little bit is kind of what he reminds me of a bit, but he's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff out there right now, man. It's just you just got to keep digging, but there's a lot of good still making music, still touring. I don't know how people are doing it right now with $6 a gallon, but
I've heard it's dropping. Somebody posted a picture of them getting gas for like $3.50 today, and that was in like the Midwest, so it's cheaper there, but fingers crossed it's coming.
Yeah, I hope so. A lot of people need it for sure, man. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, summertime is the time to be out traveling, touring, and going to shows and doing that. So, but yeah, man, we got to get together ourselves sometime soon. we gotta put something together, you know, get Dog Bite on the bill and start doing something, maybe a little Northwest old school Dog Bite, Lorin Walker Madsen show, get the Travelers in the mix.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fucking great, man. Totally be down.
Happen.
Yeah, me and Honeycutter are coming up. Well, me and Honeycutter are talking about doing an October run together. So maybe we'll end up out your way too.
Let me know. There's always room for you and Mr. Honeycut.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then fuck, I'm gonna start recording shit soon. So maybe I'll have you sing on one of my songs or something too.
Oh, dude, we got to collaborate on a tune. I'd love that. That'd be great.
That'd be fun. Yeah. You know, that's kind of a thing I've been changing up a bit too, with like, I've always like just wrote my own shit or just completely covered somebody else's song. And I've been, you know, trying to fuck around, get around writer's block and stuff. So like, I'll reach out to like Felix. If I'm hitting a writer's block and I've got like a couple lines that I think are fire and I can't get anything else, I'll reach out to Felix and I'll play it. I'll make a short, like 2-minute video and be like, what do you think? You know, and he'll come back with something, or I'll shoot it to Honeycut. So fuck, man, if I come up with something that has a Lorin vibe, I'll fucking shoot it to you, man, and see what you think.
That's a great way to go, man. Co-writing with people. I'd love, you know, I always want to do more of that. I don't do enough of it, you know, to be honest. And I wish I did, but that's a good reminder, man. Yeah. Co-writing with people can be great. You know, can really help you get out a song, man. And help you, you know, look at it, you know, I don't know, take it to a place that maybe you didn't even know it should have gone. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, and that's another thing too with having like a solid band now too, is like, I've always kind of been like a guy. I don't know, I have a lot of hooks, a lot of shit. A lot of my stuff's been like pretty plain, same shit from front to back, you know? So having like a full band of musicians that are really professional, it's like good too, because I can get other ideas of where to take the song, you know, like to make little change ups and shit like that, you know?
Sure.
So that's kind of stuff. It'll be kind of the same lines, but probably a little better, you know, I think a little more I'm hoping it'll put me on a different level as far as songwriting and recording goes. So
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I can't wait to hear it. I mean,
yeah,
like, God, those are a couple, just like you said, those are a couple good brains to be bouncing songs off, you know, between Felix and Mr. Honeycut. So
yeah. And then Kevin from the Travelers, you know, he's like kind of a mastermind of orchestrating shit, you know, and he'll be the other guy I'd lean on too. Like that's another thing I haven't tried that I'll try here in the next couple months when my knee feels better, is like, I've got all these songs that are partly finished and I've got all these lyrics that are like written down and put away. And I'm going to just take a weekend to go up and hang out with Kevin and try to just lock ourselves in the band room and see what we can come up with.
that's good. Yeah, that's awesome. Sometimes you got to do that. I've been wanting to do that. I mean, that's kind of how I write. I write a lot of like just snippets and little things, and I'm always working on stuff. I mean, even if I'm not like writing a song or, you know, just cranking one out, man, that rarely happens for me. You know, I mean, there's people who do that and, you know, and whatever. I mean, I've always been a bit of a slower writer and, you know, piece things together a little bit more, but yeah.
I'm a bit of both, man. Sometimes I'll pop one out in fucking 5 minutes. It's been a while since that happened. Actually, not really. I got one that I wrote pretty quick. Not that's going to be on the next album that I've recorded the demo for. It's on Spotify and shit. It's just me acoustic, but it'll have music behind it and shit. But that one came out pretty quick. But yeah, I'm a piece by piece guy. And sometimes I'll write verses and then I'll be like, later on I'll have a song. I'll be like, you know, that verse from that little thing I've been fucking with will probably fit here, you know?
Yeah. Right. And that's what I mean. Yeah. Sometimes you got to have like a day or a weekend or, you know, some time to go back through and organize all those thoughts, you know, see what works. I can't wait to hear what you and Kevin come up with. He's a good one to have, you know, locked in a room with you.
Yeah.
Kevin's a good one.
I'm excited to hear about what you come up with too, man. So, but
thanks. Yeah, I'm excited, man. It's going to be good. Like I said, it's been a bit of a different pace the last couple of years, but yeah, new music on the way for sure. It's happening. You know, it's been feeling good, like getting in the room with some people again, and you know, getting the live show kind of back together for a couple of these festivals coming up, and and shows. And so, yeah, music, it's happening, just a little bit different pace. I mean, it's also when you're not out there like touring. I mean, when you're doing that life all the time, like you kind of feel like I got to get a new record out. All right, when's the new record coming out? I'm kind of trying to take myself back and be like, all right, well, you know, maybe I've got this batch of songs. Like I said, maybe I want to put these out, or maybe I want to do a single, or maybe I want to do both, or you know, whatever. So kind of feeling like I don't have like an agenda lately it's been hard to understand, but it's good for me. It's good change of pace, at least for a little while. But kids will get bigger, they'll grow up, and I'll be right back to living in my van, driving around once they go to school, I'm sure. So,
eventually you'll be teaching them how to book their own shows, probably.
and I'll just be, either they're going to join my band at that point, or, you know, then they're going to be asking how to get on the road and book their own shows, man. So, I don't know. Well, that's funny. But
yeah, my kid's getting into music. It's been fun, man. She's getting to be a little music nerd and a little music snob. So I'm digging that, you know. It's pretty cool. I took her to see the Circle Jerks a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's right. She had a blast.
Yeah. I mean, she's more into like, I don't know, like punk, like Against Me and like Green Day, you know, shit like when you're a kid, when you start getting into punk, you know, that's the kind of shit you get into, you know, Blink 182. So we were planning this trip to Seattle for a while. She'd had a gift certificate to this record store in Tacoma that she'd got for Christmas. So, and, you know, I took her up and she got like to experience the whole dog bite experience, kind of where dad like let his guard down just a bit, you know, and let her see, like took a couple shots of tequila before we went to the show and loosened up a bit, you know. So I wasn't driving, Kevin was driving. So I was like, fuck it, you know. Yeah. But, you know, nothing got too crazy around her, you know, of course. But, you know, I let her see a different side of dad where he's probably a little more relaxed and a little less of an asshole. And they all made her feel like really adult. So she thought it was like really cool, you know?
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
But yeah, but it just worked out that they were playing. And she's like, I want to go to a show. Like, I've never been to a show except Ruckus. And she's like, so I was like, well, who's playing? I was like, oh, Circle Jerks are playing. Like, so, and it turned out like everybody, like so many people went that I knew there. It's fucking rad. Like Honeycut was there. Fucking my whole band was there. Like fucking people I hadn't seen, you know. So she got to see all these people. Like we walked up to the front of the show, and like the first thing we see is somebody wearing a fucking Ruckus hat. Like you could just see the back of a Ruckus and the Records hat, like right up front of the Circle Jerks. So that was like pretty rad.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was fun, man. It was good to see her little face light up. I don't think she knew a shit ton about the Circle Jerks before we went there, but she's probably like a super fan now. And then I got her a fucking shirt and I was like, don't wear this to school. And of course, fucking Monday, she had to go home and change her fucking clothes because she wore it to fucking school. So I had to send her a text. I was like, oh, like I literally, you could have wore that anywhere on the planet but school. Yeah. And like you had like, and then I had to be dad like instantly. I'm like, I will take it away if I hear you fucking wear that to school again. Like, yeah. But then I had to explain to her because then I'm like, she probably doesn't even know what Circle Jerk means, you know? Hey. She's going into her freshman year, but I was like, it's not like a bunch of jerks in a circle. It's like a bunch of dudes like group masturbating. Like, that's why you can't wear it to school, you know?
They don't want you to wear that at school. They don't want you promoting any ideas to these delinquent little teenage boys. Oh man, I'm not ready for that. You know, I've got.
Let me tell you something, man. It's crazy though, because like, I would have rather taken my kid to see that shit than 90% of the shit that's on the radio right now. Because like, you hear like, you know, you hear this, there's like a new wave of pop punk and it's all about drugs and shit like that, you know? The Circle Jerks, man, those guys were like all about like loving each other, you know? They were like, love your fellow man, like, you know, like help out the little people because the big people are fucking us over. Like their message regardless of what their fucking name was, so much better than fucking shit that their parent, like, you know, that people let their kids listen to,
Yeah, sure.
you know? So
Sure.
it was a beautiful message, and I was proud to take her to that, you know? So it was really cool, man. But
Awesome. Man.
yeah, sure as shit. She's definitely my kid, though. I would have done the same thing at her age.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, you can't blame them. I'm not ready for it. My oldest is 3, so I got a little ways to go, but
Yeah, that's when I started being Paige's dad, and it seems just like yesterday, my man.
yeah,
Time
so
fucking flies, dude.
before you know it, man. But
Every generation, this is my advice to you, you know, and I mean, I was a different person, man. I wasn't as level as I am when Paige was little. I wasn't as patient. So I got a lot of regrets about how I brought her up, you know, and about how I was as a human around her. You know, I really struggle with it, you know. So like, but there's like layers of kids, and every layer is really special in its own way. So just like enjoy the shit out of every bit of it, you know, because someday you'll get a feel like I did a couple weeks ago, because that's like fucking almost, for me, it was almost like watching her take her first steps or something, you know. It was like watching her eyes just light up. I don't think I hardly watched the circle jerks at all. I just watched her face just like the whole time. And, you know, it's so much fun. And it was such a great moment of my life personally. Like, you'll get experience that in a lot of other shit too. You know, there's be a lot of other things that you get to experience along the way. But one thing I was going to say, I wish I would have appreciated her as a little kid, you know, like I spent a lot of time just being frustrated because my shit was getting broken, or like I didn't stop and appreciate it enough, you know, like, there was a lot of stress around me at that time, and I was more focused on that stress than watching my kid grow up, you know, and I was kind of trying to get rid of that stress so she could not have a lot of stress, you know. So, but I think it just put more stress on her in the end, you know. So it's just kind of, I just wish I would have taken the time to appreciate it more. So, but regardless, I think any parent's going to have some sense of that. So just enjoy the shit out of them, every second of it, you know?
it's all you can try and do. I'm learning that fast. Yeah, he's like, we got 2 now, and like I said, our oldest is 3, so they're just little dudes. But yeah, watching them, like you said, I'm already understanding the layers. There's just every day is something special. You know, new little light bulbs going off all the time, and you know, putting words together and just being excited to show you something that could
Oh,
be.
it's so funny, dude. There's always saying some off the wall shit, you know?
Great. Yeah, my next project is I want to get like a little, like, you know, wireless mic, you know, and mic him up for like a week, you know, and just because like I'm sure he says some of the funniest shit, you know, that like when I'm not even around, or like when he goes in his room and he's playing in his closet, you know, he's probably just talking to himself, man. I want to get it recorded so I can go back and listen and hear what he's saying, you know. I'm sure it's all kinds of crazy stuff, but no, man, kids are the best. I mean, it's hard. Like you said, shit gets broken, you know, they're messy, you know, I'm getting puked on, and there's poop, and there's diapers, and, you know, whatever, you know, but it's a blast, man. Having kids is awesome. And, yeah, man, I can wait, but I also can't wait for those like later years where you're like taking them to a show, or you're, you know, teaching them all these other, watching them, you know, see their first band. I mean, gosh, you know, it's crazy, because it is, like you said, way to put it. It's like taking their first steps in a whole different way.
Yeah, it is, man. And it's yeah, I really live my life now by experiences, you know, like, and I'm lucky as shit that I've got a kid that loves that. She doesn't fucking care a lot about materialistic shit. You know, she doesn't care about having the new iPhone. She doesn't fucking care about fucking having the biggest TV. You know, she fucking doesn't care about having fucking $300 jeans, you know. She fucking wants to cut her hair weird, dye her hair fucking weird. You know, she's cheap as shit as far as like what she wants, you know, but she's all about those experiences, man. And I'm so stoked I get to like be able to do that shit with her, man. It's fun.
I'd say that's good parenting 101 right there.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people in the little town of Ione, Oregon agrees at this point in time, but I don't know if I give a shit, really.
Well, that's all right, man. The kid that wants to experience life, that's what it's about. So that's good, man. Good for you. Nice job.
Yeah, I did something right. That's what I'm trying to fix, the things I might have broken back in the day now,
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Well, shit, dude. You got a website, any place people can buy your shit at right now?
Yeah, man. I mean, right now, you can find the music, any of the stuff I put out, and all the, releases, anything I put out, you can always get through like Spotify and all the streaming stuff. But yeah, mostly I've been directing people to bands in town right now. I mean, I'm really working on putting together a new website, just a regular website, as I get back into more gigs and things like that over the next little while. But right now, the best thing is going to like bands in town. That's a great platform. It keeps you up to date. You can get reminders when shows are added, and stuff like that. Other than that, normal socials, Facebook, Instagram, that stuff, trying to get kind of getting that ball rolling again a little bit. But yeah, slowly, like I said, getting the ball rolling again a little bit here now. And so find me over there. Follow along, hopefully, be coming your way soon enough. So, but yeah, man, it's been great catching up, dude. I appreciate you having me on again.
No problem. Hit me up, man. And hey, when you do get a single out, you should let me debut it on my podcast.
Let's do it, man. I'll definitely be putting out a single. I'll say this. I'll probably be leaning towards putting out a couple singles before a full release. Either way,
I think anymore you almost have to do that, man. It's just how the industry standard is. It's how people want it. You get people, and I can kind of get it. The more I watch, and sorry to interrupt you, I keep bulldozing into your shit, but the more I watch it, the more I kind of get it, because it's like a buildup.
Sure.
It's like a buildup. Like, when's the next one coming? They'll drop one in a month, and you'll be like, oh, that one's so good. Or it'll be like, all right, that one was not as good as the last one, but it's all right. Maybe the next one will be good. Like, it's kind of fun, and the thing that happens, I know you fucking realize this as being like a 90s kid. It's like, how frustrating was it to buy a CD and only like one song on it after you spent $20 on it,
Totally.
So like you get to the whole album's appreciated more,
For sure. Yeah, I think it's like you said, it builds some anticipation. I like that platform. I think it's cool, to put out a couple singles. I think it's really cool is like, even putting out singles that don't make it onto a record. Maybe it's just the single, like you only get that. I think that's what's cool with the digital platform these days also is like, it's like cool. Like maybe you just recorded this great song and it doesn't fit on a release or an album, and you can just release that, and it's accessible. It's so much more accessible than, excuse me, than trying to, print up one or two songs on a CD and, get them in the sleeve and put them on the merch table. That would have been, that's hard, or vinyl singles, or whatever. So I like the single idea, but I also like the way that it can build anticipation for like a record, and you can release one or two, three of those songs off an album, or whatever. So, but yeah, I'll definitely be putting out some tunes soon enough. Summer's looking pretty busy, just getting the ball rolling with like I said, Moonrunners and a couple things. But yeah, I'm itching to get some new music out. I'm due for it. I put something out right around the pandemic. We did a little live EP. It's been about a year and a half since I put that out. So, definitely time for some new music. So keep a lookout. Follow the socials. It'll happen.
Right on, buddy. Well, I'm going to let you go, man. We talked for probably about an hour before we even hit record. So,
yeah,
I know fucking, I feel like it's time to end her.
It's all good, man. I appreciate you, buddy. I'm glad things are going good. And let's talk soon. Let's catch up soon.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. And like I said, let me know when those singles are about to drop. Let your old pal Dogbite debut them.
I love it, man.
All right, man. Much love, Lorin. I'll see you later, buddy.
Yeah. Later, Dogbite. Have a good one, buddy.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Double Talkin. Always a great conversation with my good friend Lorin Walker Madsen. Please be sure to check out his music. Check out all of his upcoming shows. Just be sure to be aware of what he's doing and go like his pages. Show him some support. But yeah, we appreciate you guys listening. If you guys know somebody or are somebody that would like to be interviewed or have your music played on any one of my podcasts, please be sure to hit me up at either any one of our social media pages or at dogwaterradio@gmail.com. That's all lowercase letters, nothing fancy, no bullshit. So, but yeah, trying to think of what else. If you want to sponsor, you got a commercial you want me to throw up, anything like that, hit me up. We're loving doing this. By we, I mean me and whoever my partner is. Sometimes I got a co-host, sometimes I don't. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. As of right now, nothing new scheduled as far as interviews go. I'm working on a couple things. I'm kind of mending up right now. Just got my ACL replaced, so been a rough few days for obvious reasons. But yeah, so pretty sure we'll have some shows for you next week as well, but just unsure as what, because I haven't been able to focus long enough to get anything in the books. So, but yeah, be sure to go like our pages, share our shows around, help us get going, man. I know that for you wrestling fans out there, Matt Mark's podcast will have a pre-WrestleMania funk going on Saturday for y'all. And that's about it, man. Yeah, appreciate all you guys. We're going to send you off with another Lorin Walker Madsen tune. This song is called Slave to the Road. Aren't we all?
How could I forget the first time that I walked out of that door for good? I left the only world that I ever knew in a cloud of dust and smoke back in the rear view, far behind me. Yeah, but the smell of gasoline, the world underneath my feet, it sounded pretty good to me. And how could I forget the first time that I drove myself back out to Denver, Colorado? The wind was strong, the wind was cold, and it nearly scared the hell right out of me as I passed through Wyoming. Yeah, but that ice, the snow, the open road was all I ever needed. Yeah, it was all I'd ever dreamed. But I'd let her build me up just to tear me down, and I'd let her chew me up just to spit me out. She owns every single piece down to my soul, 'cause I'm a slave of the road. Well, the Badlands in Dakota, or the rolling western hills in Oklahoma suit me just fine. A northwest breeze between the evergreens always finds a way to bring me down to my knees, just like the first time. Yeah, there's some things that I hope don't ever change. They keep on getting ripe with age, just like the finest wine.
in the blazing heat in Texas, or the bitter cold that whips right through the Midwest, still makes me feel good. The Big Apple to Chicago, the highways and the byways and the back roads, they're my plantation. I just keep on living out my days, don't think I'll ever break the chains. Yeah, it's all I've ever known. But I'd let her build me up just to tear me down, and I'd let her chew me up just to spit me out. She owns every single piece down to my soul, 'cause I'm a slave of the road. And how could I forget the first time that I walked out of that door?